Hi, my name is Dana, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my experience in the hospital and then my subsequent recovery from the vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. So today is Tuesday, and I had my surgery on Thursday, which makes me 5 days post-op right now. First, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the hospital. So I went into the hospital, and I was 295 pounds on my surgery date, and my surgery was delayed for a couple of hours because a friend of mine had a surgery before me and she had some complications. She's all good now, and that's fantastic. And it gave me a long time to sit there, so I think my surgery was delayed by about 3.5 hours. And that's fine, because literally by the time it came around for surgery, I was so ready to just go and get it over with. I had no nerves. It was great. So that was fantastic. My surgery was pretty unremarkable. It only lasted 90 minutes. My surgeon said that I was the healthiest patient that he had ever worked on. And I mean, I guess that means I'm the healthiest of the obese patients he's ever worked on, so I'm not sure that's much of a prize. But it's good to know that sticking to the pre-op plan put me in the best possible position for this recovery. And as you can see, 5 days out, I'm 100% back to normal. Now, that wasn't always the case. I will admit that although my surgery was clean and quick and everything went to plan, I did have a little bit of problem coming out of anesthesia. It took a little longer than we had hoped for, and I was in a pretty unbelievable amount of pain because I hadn't come out of anesthesia. They didn't give me my pain meds, and I think it was like 5 hours later I finally got pain meds. So that was pretty difficult, and I don't even think at one point that I could talk because I was in so much pain because I hadn't gotten pain meds yet. But once that part was over and I got my pain meds and I was able to rest and sleep and wake up the next morning, it just got better day after day after day after day. So yeah, basically I was supposed to be up and walking that night. I wasn't able to, again, because of the issue with the anesthesia. So I started receiving blood thinner shots, like needles right to the leg. They asked me, do you want it in the leg or do you want it in the stomach? And I thought to myself, I think my stomach has had enough for one day, so let's go with the legs. And that's what we did. And honestly, it was a quick pinch, no big deal. After 2.5 days in the hospital of lift your tummy, show me this, taking blood, checking your temperature, giving your fluids, popping your IV, you don't even pay attention anymore. You're just like, yeah, whatever, stab me with whatever, get whatever, like just get it over with so I can get out of here. I had no problem sleeping in the bed, which I thought I would because I sleep on my tummy normally, but there was no issues whatsoever. I'd say the biggest problem I had in the hospital was getting my fluids in. I was on IV that first night, and when I woke up in the morning, I felt like $1,000,000. I thought, oh my God, if this is what recovery is going to be like, this is going to be a breeze. But it got more difficult once they took me off the IV fluids, and I was responsible for getting the fluids in myself. I maybe got 2 tablespoons of fluids in the first day. I got severely dehydrated. I felt awful. I was crashing. I had way too many people come and visit me at the hospital. Not that anybody's ever going to complain about that. Of course you want support. But it really tired me out, and I thought I was a superstar in the morning, so I was walking all kinds of laps, and I really wore myself out. So I crashed that night. And then the following morning was my release morning. And so I worked really hard at starting to get the fluids in, trying to get, some of the diluted juice and the Jello in that they had brought me. It was funny because they kept bringing me, trays and trays and trays of meals every meal, and I was just looking at it like, I'm never going to finish any of this. Like, stop bringing me stuff. And I really thought that I might have a challenge with that. I know that I was sleeved with a standard 34 French bougie, which is a small sleeve, which has probably a lot more to do with the fact that I'm only 5'3", and so my stomach probably dictated the use of a smaller bougie, which is fine with me. I haven't had any problems since leaving the hospital. So for the first couple of days, it was hard for me after I came home to get all the required fluids in. I have a picture here. I'm going to show you of the very first day after I woke up after surgery and how swollen and bloated my abdomen was. And then I have another picture that I took today, and I'll show you that it's really gone down. It's deflated. It looks a little wrinkly actually, and you know, all the gas is out, all that's done. So it's really quite different. And so I'm not sure if you guys know what the Ontario food plan is after you're released from the hospital, but it's really based on you know, high protein sort of dairy milk products. What I'll do actually, I'll put up a slide here to show you what kind of foods are available. So that's the stuff that I'm allowed to have, and so far it's been okay. The first day I didn't quite get everything in. The second day I got everything in except for one protein shake, and then today so far I've been able to get everything in. The only thing that gave me a little bit of trouble one time was I had to just have a quarter cup of cottage cheese, and it was my first experience with anything like really non-liquidy. And so that was a little difficult to get in, and I actually felt very full and very restricted and not so good for a couple of hours, and that's actually why I didn't end up having the rest of the protein shakes for the night, because I just felt too full, too bloated, but it was a good warning. It was good for me to understand what that's going to feel like, you know, going forward, so I know not to push it. I've been using baby spoons. I'll actually make a video tomorrow or the next day that's more focused on the food portion of what I'm going through, what a day in my diet looks like now, and how that's been going forward. So I weighed myself today. I am 281. So I was 295 when I went into, no, 295 when I went into the hospital, and already 281 only 5 days later. So it's definitely working. Things are great, and I am super happy. I will post the pictures right now of what my abdomen looked like on surgery day and what it looks like 5 days later. Yeah, if you have any questions about this phase, or like what it's like, or what my energy levels are like, as you can see, it's actually pretty good. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still totally fine. I don't plan on napping today. I did nap for the first couple of days, but then I felt sleeping through the night was a little difficult. So I'm going to try to not nap today and just go to bed, you know, my normal time around 10 o'clock and see how that goes. Yeah, other than that, everything's been really good, and I'm trying to get as much protein and water in as possible. And I will do a new video about, you know, all my food preparation and what that's like, and I'll get that up. I hope that all of you that are pre-op are seeing these videos and thinking, oh, thank God, there is a way to get through it easily, and believe me, there is. Mind over matter, like I always say. Okay, so that's it for today, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for all the support and love. It was really appreciated. Thank you, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get a video together, but I just had to wait until I was getting my energy up again. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks. Bye-bye.